Hello everybody, my name is Blu Lindsey and this is my good friend Monique Faye. So we're going to get right into it. Let's start with your name, where you're from, and what do you do?
Alright, my name is Monique Faye Peck. I'm originally from Jamaica, Queens, New York, and now living here in LA. And what I do, that is one of the hardest questions for me to answer. Honestly, a little bit of everything, but I consider myself a simple living expert. So we'll talk more about that, I'm assuming.
I like that, a simple living expert. I went on your website and I read about your background and your history and how you came out here, and I was really inspired by it. So I'm gonna just let you take the floor. Start when you moved out. What?
Okay, well, so to start, let me just find a starting point, because we all have so much things that go on in our lives, like we don't know where to start. So I'll start with what you said when I moved out here. So I moved out here specifically for entertainment. I wanted to do acting, I wanted to do modeling, and that's where my focus was. I didn't have much education on it. I didn't know what I was coming into. The first time I got off the plane in LA was the first time I moved here too. Like I never came to like scout a location, find an apartment, which sounds so crazy. You know,
came like with no plan.
Let me tell you, I thought I had a plan. I thought I had a plan because I sold my car. I was living in Florida at the time. So I sold my car. I was like, okay, I got a couple $1,000. I didn't know what money was back then. I thought I was. I had a couple $1,000. I was like, I'm going to come out here. I'm going to get a place. And I'm like, my acting skills are so great. I'm amazing. I'm going to be famous in like 5 months. Like, I'm going to be popping, So that was the master plan. So
How'd that work out?
It worked out, I would say, for like 2 weeks. So I came here 2 weeks. I was staying with a friend, a girl that I met through modeling in Florida. And I stayed with her for 2 weeks, moved in with some other girls. And I just started seeing what LA was and the machine that LA was compared to, I would say, everywhere else. So when I started to see how that worked and I saw people hustling and I started getting lied to and sold dreams and stuff like that, and I'm the kind of person, when I meet someone, I'm not judging you off of who screwed me up last time. I'm judging you off of what you give me.
Right. So
So I give everyone that trust until they mess it up. So I was running around giving out trust in LA and I didn't know that you wasn't supposed to. So I'm giving out my trust here and there, getting shut down, getting used, literally getting robbed at one point, like for my money, and like ended up homeless. But the way my personality is and the way that my mind works, I don't ever really feel stress. I guess we all get stressed, but I don't really feel it, I would say, as a regular person does, because I'm so future oriented. Like I know who I am. Okay. I know who I'm going to be. So whatever I have to do, wherever my story takes me, it's just where my story takes me.
Right.
It's a part of the book. Why not enjoy it? Why? I like sharing my story. I like telling that happened to me, because I wouldn't be me. I wouldn't be deserving of the great future that I'm on my way to.
You know what? Okay, so that's a really good point. That's something that I want to touch on, because there was 2 things that I read on your site. This was like the first line: success is the accomplishment of an aim or purpose. I want to go a little bit deeper into what you meant by that, because to me, people judge success on like lavish cars, or like I have a house, or they have a certain image. But if you have a certain aim or purpose and you're on track, I feel like you can be successful at any level.
Right.
So I really like that you wrote that, and if you wanted to expand on that for that one. And you have actually a 5-step system on your site, and it's called, what is it called? Sums up the 5. Oh, the 5. Well, actually, I don't even have it written down. So
from stress to success, the 5 steps.
From stress to success.
Yeah, you gotta find success in a stressful place. So when you feel all that stress on you, You can easily tap out, give up, go back, resort back to your old ways. Or you can say, I'm going to find success through this. I'm going to figure this out, But to answer your first question about success is the accomplishment of an aim or purpose, that is honestly just the basic definition of success. That's what success is. And now, for each person, it's going to always be individual, because what your aim or your purpose might be will be different from mine. So like you said, there can be a level of success anywhere, wherever you are in life. It depends on what your aim is and what your purpose is.
Okay, so just to touch on that, after reading your story, you've been through some tough things, the laundromat thing, the money being stolen from you, trying to reach out to people. There's even, I read something that said you did a $50 job for 12 hours.
Oh gosh, yes.
Like, how do you stay focused, and how do you stay strong through those moments? Because I would assume that most people say, I'm done, I'm going back to Jamaica, wherever I'm from, I'm going back.
Honestly, the focus part when going through things like that goes back to what I said, is the mindset, okay? Your mind is the most important thing. I cannot stress that to people enough. I don't like to get upset or frustrated, but when I do get frustrated is when I hear somebody saying, I can't do this, and everything is on me, and it's so heavy, it's so stressful. I'll be like, listen to what you're saying, you're freaking me out. Change your mind. Like, with the simple living expert that I've coined myself, is the reason for that is everything that I do, no matter how hard it is, before I get into it, I say, this is simple. This is easy. Even if it's what do you call those things, a jigsaw puzzle with a million pieces, I would look at it and say, this is simple. This is easy. So what I'm doing is I'm relaxing my mind. Right. I'm allowing myself to look at the situation just for what it is. Just okay, this is a puzzle. But if I go into it saying it's so hard, if I go into it saying how much of a monster this is, I'll never finish, guess what? I'm never going to finish. When we say the words I can't, what we're doing to our mind is literally shutting down solution.
Right.
So if I say I can't finish this puzzle, I'm giving up, I'm throwing in the towel, because my mind is going to believe me. It's going to believe the words I speak. Yeah. I hear myself talking right now. I'm talking to myself even in this moment. So you have to constantly say, oh, this is easy. This is cake. You know what I mean? You go in here, you do it. You mess up. You brush that thing off and you keep going. You know what I'm saying? And that's what it is about. And that's how I get through those tough times, because I don't let it get too deep. I have my moments. I'm not perfect. I'm human. I have the moments where I call my mom. And I'm like, Mom, it's hard out here, And then my mom is a mom. So she's going to say, well, come home, do this, do that. And when she starts saying that, it actually hypes me back up. Like, who was I? What was I thinking? So when she starts saying the stuff that I know isn't me, then it reminds me of who I am. Like, oh, girl, thank God I snapped out of that. Like, go home where? No, I got things to do. I'm home. I'm going to figure this out. I'm doing my thing,
Would you like to share, like, how did you come about doing this?
Definitely, I would love to. So the book Awesome Conversation is actually a book of affirmations. So it's kind of like a devotional where every single day you would go through an affirmation, and then there's a side where you journal. I actually just started this book myself. Yesterday I was at the beach, so this would be like the affirmation, and then you journal,
Okay.
And you go through it each day. You have the affirmation at the top, you read kind of what that means, and you journal your feelings, because it's important to check on yourself and see how you're feeling, see what's going on with you on the inside before you step out on the outside, because the outside is ready to tell you, who you are and what's going on with you. So you gotta already be ready to say, this is who I am.
Put the blockers up.
You gotta walk outside.
You ugly. Well, you ugly. You know what I'm saying?
Well, you gonna tell they ugly, but you like, no, I know I'm beautiful. Like, I know I'm worth something. You ready to combat for real.
That military training right there. Okay, so
I didn't even answer the question.
The journey, the journey to get here.
So what got me to write that book was a comment that I kept reoccurring in my life. People started making assumptions about me because I was new to LA, so I was making new friends, meeting new people. And when people met me, they would say, oh wow, you seem like a person that came from like a happy home, like, you know, everything must be going good in your life. And I was like, why everybody think everything's so good in my life? Oh, what? You know? But I took it as a compliment. Like, one of the nicest things you can say to me is like, oh my God, like, you look like you come from a happy home. I'll be like, oh, thank you. You know? So that was, it kept reoccurring, because it wasn't just one person that said it. I had people tell me, oh, you wouldn't understand. You don't know what this feels like, because this probably has never happened to you. And I'm like, that and more has happened, but it's your mindset. It's how you look at it. And when I start to tell people about myself, or when they hear me talking to myself and they're like, who are you talking to? I'll be like, oops, me, you know?
Crazy.
So when I started getting these questions like on a regular, and people were constantly making comments like on my energy, like, you're always happy, you're always energized, and I started getting those comments so often, I'm like, maybe something is different, you know? And I started asking people like, well, you don't do affirmations? Or you don't talk to yourself? You don't see what's going on with you?
Because everybody does that.
I thought. But when I found out that they didn't, that's when I was like, okay, I have to do something. Because my true purpose, for me, my belief, my true purpose in life is to help others. And that's why I even went into acting in the first place. Because I was like, you know what, we need some great role models out there, especially for the little girls. I love my little cousins. They already know, hey y'all, they already know how I am. I call them, I check up on them. They can call and tell me anything. Like, they are just everything to me, because it's so important. They're so important. They need to know certain things about themselves. So when they go out into school and peer pressure, I don't want them to have, you know, those issues. Right. And with me, my mindset's been like this for, you know, a while now. So even when I was little, I never drank. You know, I still never drank, never smoked, any of that. I never fell for peer pressure. I was always my own person. I'm like, you know what, we don't want to do that. We're not going. You know, that was always my mindset. So I figured,
I want to know your inner voice. Like, you probably got some funny conversations up there.
I do.
No, we're good.
We're fine.
It's like, who's me?
Sometimes I gotta talk about myself in plural, so I could not be, you know, so I know I'm not alone. It's like me and there's a God in here too, you know, so we're fine.
Okay.
So that was the purpose of like even wanting to go into entertainment, because my thought was, okay, this was a master plan.
Okay.
If I got into acting, if I became a really famous actor or model, the kids are gonna automatically love me. They're gonna automatically think I'm cool. And then when I slide it on up in there, that I don't do all this reckless stuff, you know, and that I was popular in high school. You know, I was cool. So the fact that I was still able to be cool and popular, and people still liked me and wanted to hang out with me, and I didn't have to exploit myself or do things I didn't want to do. When they can see somebody that has lived a life that they might want to live, then they're like, oh yeah, I have somebody to look up to. I can be like her. That was my master plan. But I decided to go ahead and start speaking now and write the book and stuff. I'm just like, you know what? Why not? Why wait? You know? Because I see people, my friends come to me, you know, all the time for advice. People ask me questions all the time. I'm like, you know what? What better time than now? Why hold on to it for this future moment when I can just share and talk and let people see, you know, from now.
What's a piece of advice that you would share with your younger self that can get you the most growth, like mentally? We'll say mentally.
Okay. A piece of advice that I would share with my younger self would be to stay calm and to stay focused. And I say that because when I was younger, I was a little bit of a hothead. When I was a little kid, like elementary school. I was.
What?
In elementary school, man, don't come see me, you know?
Got them hands.
Yeah, I used to be a little bit of an angry kid. And that kind of rolled over a little bit in different points of life. It will pop up. It will like rear its head. I would tell my younger self, stay calm and stay focused. Because if I would have done that, I feel like I would have, I'm on the right path. There's only one path in life, so I'm not going to say I would have been further or this or that. But I would have been happier sooner. I wasted time being angry, I wasted time thinking about the wrong thing. Like,
Right.
she probably doesn't like me. They think I'm too tall. I walk into a room thinking of everybody else's thoughts except for my own. Like, what do I think about myself?
Yeah.
How are you feeling today? Like, you feel good? Well, be good. And those are the two things: is stay calm and stay focused on me.